It's because they think sardines will be thrown into the sea. Thank you very much.
Talking nonsense. So I thought, no, enough's enough. Why should I put up with that? Talking nonsense. So I thought, no, enough's enough. Why should I put up with that? Don't back down, double down. Don't back down, double down.
Evening, how we all doing? It is the Boise Bus, and you know what? The Boise Bus it's revved up positivity since it began, and all we've done is try and be positive Celtic fans. It's all we've tried to do. We appreciate the fact it's not always as simple as that, but negativity has no place on the Boise Bus, and to kind of not back down, but double down on that positivity I had, I thought, why not bring in not just one, but two regular viewers? I am delighted to announce that not just a double down contestant in David Logue, but also one of the first double down contestants, Liam Collo, have joined us on the bus tonight, and we're all here to discuss an average result.
Just average, aye.
That was far from average.
We have comments flying in tonight, by the way. The show is busy as it could always be. That theme song has never sounded better. There's a slight echo coming from my end. I don't know if someone's got us on, I don't know. Maybe it's just at my end. But there is people wanting to see how the Boise Bus is going to react to yet another positive result. And this time, it's to go, as Odson Edwards so well put, top of the table. That is what's now happened. Guys, firstly, I'll come to you, Liam. What did you make of that Celtic display? Let's not talk about the bigger picture yet. Let's talk about the 90 minutes. What did you make of the Celtic performance tonight? And I'll come to David in a minute.
Well, that was just something unbelievable, wasn't it? I was just taking 1-0 now, but Joe getting the 3-0, can't complain at that.
No more of that to think. Right, David, I'll let you expand on it a wee bit. What did you make of the first that display? I know I probably am guilty of this one catchphrase, right, which I've not deliberately coined, but I found myself, I keep doing on the bus, particularly first half. But genuinely, that display tonight, David, come on. Give me some feedback here. Give me some love.
2 words. Rio Hatate. Rio Hatate. That boy. This is a boy that you signed for 1.3 million from the Far East that come out of university college course. This guy was pushing paper and writing essays And now he's absolutely bossing that Glasgow Derby tonight. That was phenomenal. Like, to have that amount of composure, not only for the first goal, but to have the finesse. Like, he has no right scoring that second goal.
Mhm.
On the form that we were seeing McGregor on with Yakimakis, that was phenomenal. I was jumping out my seat, going absolutely crazy. Like, I'll go as far as saying that's maybe the best 45 minutes I've seen us play against them for a long time. And, you know, we've given them some hidings in the last decade.
I think
I
that's the
was,
best first 45 in the whole season we've played so far. Under Ange.
Mhm. Well, let's talk
Yep.
about that a wee bit. Let's talk about satisfying results. Let's talk about satisfying displays in this particular fixture. Now, when you look back, really, since their return or first ever existence in the Premier League, we can split it any way we want, right? This time, we knew there was a team up against us who, at the end of the day, were still 2 points clear come the midway point. We knew we had to put in a decent display tonight. We knew we were a wee bit under strength. We knew all these things. Tonight, I watched us blow them away. Now, I tell you what, my first observation, guys, and I want your thoughts on this. As I say, we will go through it all point by point. Pesky fans, though, eh? And I am sorry, but I have looked at the records. They've beat us once in front of a full Celtic Park. Once. But yet you keep hearing it on Sky Sports. 787 days since they beat the Celtic. I get it. I get these are facts. But they're a wee bit misguided at times. That is, honestly, they beat us once in front of a full Celtic house. Tonight, they couldn't live with us. Liam, could Rangers handle the heat tonight?
Dillo Cappy. Don't ask silly questions.
You had that lined up.
Aye.
Yep, that
David.
was that. Yep, that was. I can't believe that first 45 minutes. It was just complete relentless. It was. I mean, they talked about us
I
shitting it.
tweeted,
We shat
David.
it. We shat it. The only people I seen shitting it tonight was those 11 boys in the park there. They were terrified. Absolutely, £34 million winger. Absolutely nowhere to be seen. Nowhere to be seen. They brought in Kamar Roof because he clearly doesn't trust Ethan. I mean, okay, he's a big physical boy, but he didn't. You know, he's up against Carter Vickers, who and got a couple of extra protein shakes tonight because that boy was absolutely solid. And Juranovic, I think he needs to go and piss in a cup because that was ridiculous performance for him. I think we need to get him checked for some enhancement performance. I don't know what that boy was drinking, some Michael Jordan juice before he started, because that was just one of the best performances I've seen from a right back in a long time. A long time.
No, well,
I
listen,
think he was easily man of the match.
and do you know what? I'm gonna come in here, Liam. Just before someone thinks there's like a storm a brew, I guess maybe you're breathing down that microphone, right? But it's a wee bit.
I'm not breathing.
There's some sort of
That's fair. That's fair.
Right.
That's fair.
No, I'm not being rude. Just before you
Right.
start getting right. Anyway, let's talk about Juranovic, guys. Right, yous have been on the bus. Absolutely loved the bus so far. I at times I'll put an opinion out there that isn't always bang on the money, but I'll be strong in my opinion. And you all know Juranovic at times has maybe came in for a bit of criticism for the Boise bus so far. Tonight, I put my hands up. I thought he was man of the match. I'm going to agree with Liam Cole there. There was a lot of standout players. Was Josip Juranovic, was that his coming of age in a Celtic jersey, Liam Cole?
Definitely. 100% agree with that.
Yep. Do you expand on it a wee bit, big man?
Oh.
Why do you think that? Why do you think that was his best display?
So he's been. I think I've always rated him as the right back, but that way he's done nothing wrong that he was not meant to do tonight. As long as it, I lost my words there. But the whole team, was brumming 100% bang on tonight. So that way, but he was sure that way. Everything he was done, he was done to 100% done perfection.
I felt with Juranovic's display tonight, I felt it was, I don't want to be odd, like, use the typical cliches, but it was a coming of age tonight, David, wasn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. I think, no disrespect to Anthony Ralston, I think he's completely outshone a lot of us. He can play, and he is a reliable backup. I think tonight, maybe shown it. I think
I get that.
mean,
It's
don't get me
never a
wrong.
slight, though.
Don't get
It's
me
never
wrong.
a
Like
slight.
Ralston's.
It's never a slight. It's just facts are facts sometimes, eh?
Yep, Ralston's shown that he's a lot better football player than we were giving him credit for. I think it's just a case he needed to get the right manager, and I think he's got the right manager. It's put a bit of belief in him, and it's amazing what happens when somebody can put their. And Angel say it. I'm not one for putting an arm around a player, like he's come out and said that, but I think that there's been a wee arm around him, and that's given him a real shot in the arm. And he's we went out with something to prove. This was the guy that we were like, oh, he's the only right back at the club. And now I think we can, quite happily have him in the team. However, I think if you have to pick between one of them, you go with the Croatian number one right back at the minute. I think he absolutely bossed it. And but remember his debut was against them in a full Ibrox with no Celtic fans, playing in a position that he's not. He looks comfortable in, but it's not his preferred position. And I thought he looked pretty good in that game. And I think, we really got to see the real Juranovic tonight, and, an absolute steal as well. We've robbed Liga Warsaw. Liga Warsaw we got him from, yeah?
Yeah.
I think so, yeah.
Yeah, we've robbed
Warsaw,
them.
mate. Legia Warsaw, £2.6 million. He had 8 caps for Croatia at the time. You look at him today, and I mean, his performance was shit hot anyway, but we always love the certain examples. That ball he brings down that is spinning all over the joint, when I'm not going to say we're under the cosh, because by that stage in the game, they knew it was gone. We all knew it was gone. But just the composure to do it. I thought, for me, it was a display.
The arrogance.
There was arrogance, but you're right.
It was arrogance. It was like, there's nobody here to boo me. We're absolutely scalping them. I'm going to show, there was no real pressure at that point. Don't get me wrong, they looked a little bit better when they obviously made a couple of changes. We did tire off, but I think he knew he was having the game of his Celtic career that night, tonight, and there was a little bit of arrogance, but I liked it.
Yep.
I liked what I seen.
I think the display we put in though tonight warranted a wee bit of arrogance. I generally felt Celtic at 2 times tonight took their foot slightly off the gas. I actually think we did it for a 10-minute spell. I could be miles off it here. I actually felt during the first half, we realised come about 29, 30 minutes, that is a lot of energy we've exhausted here. I thought we weren't letting them back in, but I thought it was a case of manage the game, and then the last 5-6 minutes, we went back to where we were from minute 1. That blew the Rangers away. They did not expect. They thought maybe we're getting a foothold in this game. Maybe we're managing to get a grip in this here. What they didn't realise was Celtic were actually preserving energy to then go back on the front foot again. And the 2 goals they scored at the end of the first half were nothing short of what we deserved as well. But I'm glad that people are recognising the likes of the contribution for Juranovic. And we are going to talk, guys, about individual displays. Hatate, of course, comes tonight. There's others as well. That in terms of what does this mean in the title race, as of course we're now very much in. I know everyone wants to look at tonight's record, right? Everyone wants to look at tonight's match and go, they can't live with us. It's not quite the case. Tonight's the first time we've actually went top of the league on merit in over 18 months. Just take a wee step back and remember that. You have to earn that to get to where we are right now. Okay? So, Liam, with that in mind, how excited should the Celtic support be right now?
I would say very excited, but I would just take Julian Motherwell and Aberdeen games in the next week. Just get that out of the way. Calm ourselves down. I know it's a brilliant result tonight, but if we get the 6 points there, I would be a bit more comfortable in this, that way, in that title race.
Well, I think there's 2 sides to it. and David, I'll come to you on this because I think there's two sides to it. I think that Rangers team were a team that they exuded confidence, mate, when they knew they had the cushion. And actually, there was no real glove we could lay on them. But I think they played a part in that. They've just ended a sequence of one league defeat in 61 matches. But tonight, the stark contrast between the two teams, and that was including a guy just signed for Man United in their team, who is obviously been signed to enhance the first team. We were missing guys tonight that we thought, and let's be honest, who I'm talking about right now is Kyogo. We thought he basically, when he plays, we play. Tonight, I've seen Celtic do it in almost a slightly different manner, but still to the same devastating effect. And this time, it was the comprehensive first half lead against, it just turns out, our biggest rivals, as opposed to that performance I felt was likely to come. It just wouldn't have surprised me more if it had been the Hibs game last Monday. It wouldn't have surprised me if we won the upcoming league fixtures. To do against them was that bit sweeter. But display-wise, it was no surprise if you've been watching us minute by minute since the turn of this year.
I think you kind of took the words out of my mouth there. That's been coming. Was it 6 games that we hadn't beat them in? Law average is we're gonna beat them eventually, and and obviously we beat them quite comfortably tonight. Like, obviously we want to see that lineup with Kyogo leading the line. However, we've went very quickly from a team that relies on one player that we hadn't even heard of before the summer to now really, I can really say that's maybe not the first time I could say it, but that's solidified that we are a team. That is a team out there, a team of boys that are playing for each other, playing for the manager, playing for the fans. There's a cohesive synergy going on at the club that, that's siege. And I messaged you this earlier. We've got a bit of a siege mentality now with Ange coming in. He's coming a warpath. This guy, he's but.
Well, David, that leads me on. That's a brilliant. I'm going to jump on that because I genuinely think that's an important aspect to it, right? And I want a wee bit expansion on this because what I think is Ange, initially, from a personal point of view, has a siege mentality. I think he felt doubted. I know he was doubted. I wasn't convinced. I said it on a far bigger podcast than this, that his record's not as what it's been made out to be. And Dan Olewich was doing nothing to convince me otherwise because I still think he's a big diddy. But the fact of the matter is, it is what it is. But the fact of the matter is, I think Ange just had a wee bit of a personal vibe to go, whoa. I win titles, big boy. I don't mean aimed at me, I mean in general. And I think whilst he's winning one personal battle, I think all of the players he signed, I mean, the 3 Japanese players, we didn't want to infantize them in that shite. But I also think it was easy to categorize them as 3 guys from one league. It's a one-trick pony thing when you already had one who did well from that league. It's blowing all that out of the water as well. And the best thing is, when you look at the influence Ange seems to have on players, the best League One for England import on display tonight wasn't apparently the Player of the Year elect in the SPFL, Joe Aribo, Matt O'Reilly. Now, Liam, who is it Ange is going to sign that doesn't seem to come in and hit the ground running? Because realistically, we know maybe last summer there were certain guys he might have not had as big a part to play in. We now know the guys he has signed. The influence he's having, Liam, right now on that Celtic team, to think where he was 6.5 months ago, 5.5 months ago, it's quite incredible, Liam, isn't it?
It's very incredible. Do we find that attacking performance tonight was on level with Moussa Dembele's first one in the 5-1 game about 5 years ago?
I like that. What did you make? What did you make to the impact that I felt? See, to be honest with you, I know Atati got the 2 goals. I thought Matt O'Reilly tonight, Liam, What did you make of his display? And what have you made of his contribution right now since he joined the
Oh, he's
club?
been unbelievable, ain't he?
Phenomenal.
For a League One player, even though I disagree the club he came with, but he's been unbelievable. For £1.5 million, you can easily, the way he's going now, you could probably 10 times that now, the rate he's going at.
I feel like O'Reilly's the one who's going to be the unsung hero in all this, because we're all desperate to tie in the Japanese connection with Ange. But O'Reilly proves this guy ain't no one-trick pony. You know that, David, eh? This guy, every player he identifies is because they're going to find a role in this team that suits Ange's style, but also have it up there. And that's what Ange's looking for. Matt O'Reilly tonight, for example, and we will talk about Atati's goals. Of course we will. Matt O'Reilly for me, though, particularly first half, and I know that seems to be my fucking catchphrase now, how good, like, he has walked into that team, mate, and made it look like he's always been a part of it, which is harder to do than maybe be the, you know, the big shock factor you get. You know, Hatati, you know, when you look at him, he's been added to that team. O'Reilly, though, that team's ticking under him as if he's always been there. I almost think there's a bigger compliment I want to give him.
It's funny. He was the last signing we made for our window shut. Am I right? Yeah, and I almost feel like the whole team has been built around him. It's bonkers the way he plays. It's almost as if Ange's built this team just for him. He absolutely he's. I mean, he walked in like a Calvin Klein model, for fuck's sake. The boys, he just oozes like confidence. I mean, I really liked his interview when he first came to the club. You know, we touched on it. You touched on quite a lot. Ange brings in not just players but personalities, and I think he likes to express his personality on the pitch. He believes he's a leader, but maybe not one that shouts and balls at people, but just the way he plays. And I think, you know, we talk about, you know, having McGregor back and that he's such an influence on the way we play, and like the way Kyogo comes in and that high energy press. It's almost like, oh, if he's running about like that, we've got to start running about like that and putting in an extra 10%. It's almost as like that's what O'Reilly's done. O'Reilly's just come in and went, this is how we're going to play. This is how I play.
Yep.
And if you want to play with me, you're going to have to play to this level. And it's bonkers to think that this guy's come for League One. I mean, I know they were touting him as, you know, like, this boy's too good for this league, and we all know that. But once again, Ange just pulled a rabbit out of the hat and went, well, we're taking him. We'll take him.
Yep.
And I start to wonder how long. I like to wonder how long. Really, I know it seemed really quickly that Ange came in the door, like out with the whole Eddie Howe thing. But I just wonder, has Ange always had this? If I'm getting this move, like I'm hearing rumours that I might be getting a call. Do I start planning who I'm wanting? Who am I scouting? I know this guy. They've no plucked this boy from a list. Like Ange has scouted that boy to fit his system, and he's done it remarkably. 3 games? It's like he's been here 3 years.
Yep, I couldn't agree more. And he's just one of many examples right now. Here's the next one. We watched, and we're going to get to the result, by the way. I'm going to go back. But just
So
for
much to
one
talk
more
about.
player to pluck out thin air. Maeda didn't look like he had jet lag at all. Now, my biggest comparison, don't get me wrong, I drank about 40 buds. Not even Bud Lights, probably real buds, you know, because I'm hardcore. But I went to Vegas, and I swear it knocked me out for about 2 weeks. The type, you know, not time travel, but you know what I mean? The actual logistics of it is ridiculous. Maeda comes on and he is another one. He just absolutely epitomizes what Postecoglou's trying to do. But Liam, we'll come back to you. How important was it for Celtic to get that early goal? And see if I'm completely honest to you, I think after 30 seconds we all felt it was coming.
Oh, but that way, you know, he's going into an Old Firm or a Glasgow Derby that your nerves are going to be shattered going in, but getting that early goal, you never know. That way, you think to yourself, we need a second here. That way, but even though you get your second, you need that third just to keep you going. Do that way, so you've got that sort of comfortable lead. So that way, getting that early goal's just so let down. Mark was saying, we're here for this tonight.
Liam, do you think, like, see with regards to that as well? I love the fact, obviously, 60,000 Celtic fans, a lot of them season ticket holders, lose their seat for the spectacle that's called Celtic, Spfl, Celtic Rangers, whatever way you prefer. I don't get into that bullshit on the bus, as you know, right? There was a bit of it tonight that you went, well, do you know what? We fought fire with fire, and it seemed to suit our team. They were thriving on the occasion tonight, and see when they both walked out, I looked at James Tavernier's eyes as he walked out. He walked to that dugout. You know, his big wide eyes. We've not seen them. We have not seen them since he was writing programme notes, saying that big crowds intimidated him. And I think tonight, they actually got more of a homecoming than it was a home truth coming, shall we say. Let's not call it homecoming, a home truth coming. I think that's what's happened tonight. And I think it's incredible, though, because seeing the lead up to the match, I actually listened to some balanced, MSM, and they listed off the amount of players that have won. They keep calling it old firm derbies. I get that's not the term that wants to be used, but the amount that I had in the Rangers team, the amount that I had in the Celtic team, and then I remembered Callum McGregor's won fucking more than almost all of them put together. This spell of dominance actually reeks. One time they've beat us in front of a full Celtic house. Once. And we're getting rammed down our throats 787 days. David, tonight, their chickens came home to roost.
Rangers, they've been playing the matches this, with the whole, mess around with like fans allocations and stuff, and tonight they got burned. They asked for this. They wouldn't allow us into their ground because apparently, we couldn't guarantee that we would be able to get them into our ground in January, and lo and behold,
They said
nobody got in. Nobody got in. So we were quite right to say, look, we can't guarantee. We don't know what it's going to be like in winter with the whole COVID situation. And Nicola goes and stops fans into the stadiums again. So like we were right. So, but that's all in the past now. But and obviously, some people and might say that it's a bit petty that that we and Rod Stewart saying that we should be the bigger club and blah 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 and let them back in. But spectacle, talk about spectacle. That was a spectacle tonight. That was a really good advert for Celtic Football Club. And there's no English football on tonight. There's no European football on the telly as far as I was aware tonight. All eyes were watching the Glasgow Derby, Old Firm, whatever you want to call it. And that was especially that first half, was a very good advert for not only Celtic Football Club, but to show that we've got talent in this league. Rangers didn't really help. They didn't really help out with the showing of talent in the league tonight, but we certainly did. I've got friends messaging me through this game that have no care in the world about Celtic Rangers, messaging me saying, wow, what a performance. What a performance.
Yep. And I think the thing is, though, we always, as Celtic fans, want to say we didn't need them when they win the league. We didn't need this tard of this rivalry. We always wanted to establish ourselves as a club that judges itself in the top dogs. No one from a Premier European competition or randomly in any European country or worldwide country you could think of would have turned that game on and thought, oh, do you know what? It's missing 7,000 Rangers fans. It's all about, as you say, it's all about what Celtic do. And I think also they brought this to their own. I think tonight was a bit of a comeuppance. You chose this way. You chose this path. You chose because of the amount of houndings you were getting at home. Houndings, whatever you want to call it. You've chose your own path. Liam, tonight, was this the schooling that I think, I'm going to put this to you, was this the schooling Celtic would do maybe many a club, but at the very least you Rangers?
I would say they started all this nonsense anyway, so let them never forget that. But I reckon it was going to come do like something like Ross County or Aberdeen or something, but no Rangers or that. But like they do that Rangers to go top of the league the night. just makes you wouldn't have believed it that way, especially going into the start of January 6 points behind. That way, saying at 10:30 on the 2nd of February you'd be top of the league there now. Unbelievable stuff to think.
It is though. But you know what also is unbelievable? The Boise bus has just racked over 300 live viewers. They used to think that was impossible. But you know what? The establishment always get beat eventually. And that is what happens. No one here has an agenda. The reason we've got David Logue and Liam Colwan right now is because this bus is from a fan for the fans. We just want honest opinion. It won't be me cherry picking who they are. That's never how it's going to work. It's just, I want people who, I'll just put it out there in a tweet. Do you know what? Who fancies coming on now? But you know, the honest truth was, see if it'd be a negative result, I would never have sent that tweet. I'd have dealt with it myself. Because that's the only way you can. But you know what? The Boise bus is slightly different because there's no agenda. There's no bullshit. I know one of yous I expect to be giving me, Gary Lineker-esque vibes. However, let's now talk about the goals. Rio Hatate's first one. Now, am I mistaken in thinking he threatened that exact finish, David, against Hibs that Monday? The chest down, the half volley on the right foot, slightly outside of the right boot. I seen him do it before he got saved. This time he goes for the other corner. What a goal!
Like I said earlier, it's the composure that's the most frightening part about this boy's game. I think, like, he just doesn't seem to be. This is the Glasgow Derby, and this boy's pulling off like a performance like that. They have the composure with Rangers players closing them down, the crowd waiting, anticipating the shot, and the bit is spinning in the air. When you watch it in slow motion, it's just the technique involved. But we talk about YouTube reels. Like when you watched his YouTube reels, he has a few of them in his locker. So I mean, I can't say I'm surprised to see. Maybe the rocket against Hearts. Like I can't say I'm surprised to see him taking the chances. But that's the key word there. He's just taking the chance. If Shy Bairn's getting his sweeties, if you don't ask questions of the goalkeeper, you're not going to get any answers. And we found out. We saw on the weekend, McGregor's got a couple. He's not full of confidence, despite obviously making some really good saves to Giakoumakis. I'm sure we'll touch on later. But he asked questions.
I think Hatate hits that shot, not giving two hoots whether Alan McGregor made the James Hunt cell in Ross County or not. Rio Hatate just goes, if there's an opportunity to have, I'm taking it. And I don't think guys like Alan McGregor coming to Rio Hatate's even mindset in the slightest. Liam, what have you made of this impact that this guy's having right now? I mean, Hatate, obviously we're now going to move on. He then scores the second at McGregor's near post. And again, I'll push back or I'll go, it's because he's got no regard, Liam, for who Alan McGregor is, that he thinks he can curl on that near post. Am I right?
Definitely. He's not got the right to even shoot for there, to be honest for you. So that was especially the game he was having. McGregor up to that point with Giakoumakis and all that, and all the wonder saves. So, like, he's not even got the right to even try that, but hopefully it's one of the ones that's pulled off for him.
Yeah, but the point I'm saying is I'm looking at Hatate right now though and going, I don't think he's got regard for anyone he's coming up against, Liam, right now. This the guy who's just expressing himself on the football pitch for Celtic, isn't he?
Aye, he doesn't. How did I put it nice way without putting it nice? Could I swear?
It's almost ignorance, Liam, in a way.
Aye, I'm trying to could I put a wee F-bomb in?
Yeah, well, just say what you've got to say, mate.
Doesn't he give a fuck?
To
be honest with you.
Aye. I get that. But the thing is, when you look at it on paper, now we live in a world where Scotland is, we are, whether we like it or not, we are right next door to the biggest Rolls Royce of a league in the world, right? And it's at times derided and it's overspent on, blah, blah, blah. Rio Hatate cost us between 1 and 2 million, not even confirmed yet, but we know it was in that parameter. I'm telling you, I've seen players down south cost 20 times that. And it's not even like they're being headline chasing here. We're talking about guys costing 25, 30 million pounds. I'm not convinced we'd be able to join that Celtic team, David, and do what they like Rio Hatate has done since he joined. Let alone, it's like he's built it up. Tonight, 2 goals, 1 assist. Both goals, outrageously good. When does this end? Who's next come the summer?
What I was meaning by almost like ignorance from Hatate is, I mean, we don't know how much of the Scottish game has really been getting shown over in Japan ever since Nakamura left. How much interest has there been? A lot of Japanese fans, they like to keep an eye on their players whenever they're playing abroad.
Yep.
A lot of Liverpool fans over in Japan for their striker. I can't remember his name. It's left my head at the minute. So who knows if how what I'm meaning by ignorance is he doesn't probably have a clue about Alan McGregor or any of this.
It's like
They scudded Celtic six games in a row. That's by the by to him. He's a new player with a clean slate. He has obviously got plenty of confidence in his own ability, just doing his thing, and it's proven dividends.
But I'm going to come in, David. I think what the thing is, Hatate, again, he just epitomises what I'm just trying to get everyone to play with. Play with your own freedom. Now, my notes, see, after 20 minutes, I'm not going to be negative on this because we freaking schooled them, right? But after 20 minutes, we should have been out of sight then. After 20 minutes, I thought Celtic should have been out of sight. And I watched the 2 key contributions that were going on. Hatate, as I've just appointed to there, he scores 2, 1 assist. I look at Jota, and I look at what he was creating when he started that first half particularly. I keep going back to it. I look at Ryan Kent. And I think, wow, powder puff bullshit. No end product whatsoever. Everything we've maybe been overly critical of, like James Forrest. James Forrest came back for a year out. Ryan Kent looked like he'd never played one of these fixtures before. Now, for me, yet again, it comes down to Jota, the quality that he's bringing, Hatate, the quality he's bringing. How important is it we seal permanent deals, not just for Jota? Cameron Carter-Vickers did a good night tonight. But Maeda remembers on loan as well, with an option to buy. The exact same as Cameron Carter-Vickers and Jota is. We just lost. I don't want us to get over gallus about that one either. These 2 signings are all having the biggest impact in the team, Liam, are they not? Liam's silent. You're on mute, son. Can't hear you, mate. It's better than your heavy breathing. There we go.
Oh, that's me now. Hopefully that
it's better than
removes the
heavy
breathing.
breathing.
Does that remove the breathing as well?
Well, I can hear you now, but we'll make up with that. We'll make do with that. I like him.
All 3 loanees have made a cracking impact tonight, especially all on loanees. I think Maeda is a permanent loan, but he is coming in the summer.
But it just seems to be a given, though, there. Like, he is still the same principle as the rest. But let's talk about Liam. What did you make of Maeda when he came on? Because I just think that attitude, is that not the manager now rubbing off? That's the example set. Maeda came on and was tracking down players. Jet lag.
Aye, especially when playing like half an hour yesterday for Japan. Wasn't it like 7 o'clock your time and all that to come out for wherever he was coming from to come over? Just to play 20 minutes a night, sort of thing, to make that much of an impact. Even though the game was done at that point.
But I think it wasn't about that. It was about it's about how highly Ange values him in the squad. And I also think it shows a dedication from the player himself. David, every single one of them is pulling the same rope right now. There's a unity in that Celtic team. We all know it, eh? And we've all seen this movie before. It's just came a lot quicker than we all expected. Now, nothing's signed, sealed, delivered. But oh my God, you look at that group of players now, and there's no window to come now. The ins are in. I get the vibe Ange right now has convinced those who were already there how he wanted them to be. And now the ones he brought in, he knew were going to be the type he wanted them to be. This is an exciting group of players, and a lot of comments come out. And you know, on the Boise Bus, David, you're a huge fan. I like to bring in as many comments as I can. Derek Patterson comes straight in. Team spirit, amazing. It really is, eh?
It really is, and I think a sign of that, and I'm fast forwarding right to the end of the game there, but the way the players they sent Hatate right to the front to head to the to the corner of the Green Brigade to start off the dance and the celebrations. Like that's showing a real good team spirit. That's good. That's team players. Everyone played their part tonight. Everyone played their part tonight. There's not a man on that pitch I don't think didn't give their all, for that badge tonight. But they wanted to recognise that, Hatate, you got the assist, you got the 2 goals. This is your night right at this moment. Go and enjoy it. And I think, that just shows, I think that just shines through how much of a positive team spirit that Ange has put into this team. They're all playing for the manager. They've all bought into his game plan, his way of thinking, his siege mentality. We're coming for that title. This isn't that. We don't do rebuilds at Celtic. You said it on the old pod. We don't do rebuilds at Celtic. You don't have time for rebuilds. You're coming in and you're going to hit the ground running, or we'll find someone that will. And right
do you
now,
know what? Do you know what, David? I'm fucking so glad you brought it up, because I was panned, right, when I was on the other pod for saying that Dan Orlovich, whatever his name is, he kept going, "Oh, you'll take a year, guys. Don't worry about that." And I'm going, well, that'll not be the case. That's not how it fucking works.
Doesn't work like that here.
Ange adapted to that quicker than folk think. Ange realised, no, shit needs to happen now. Shit's not hitting the fan. Whilst we're doing well, shit needs to happen now. Right now, Celtic are a team right now that are top of the league on merit. And the mess he inherited, it's night and day. And I can't go back to it. It's not just that he's created a team that's good. He's created a mentality amongst these guys. Liam, Rangers made 3 substitutions at halftime. 3. Now, that might seem more ballsy, but you're allowed 5 these days. Celtic didn't have anything close to their preferred first 11 ready today. Does that tell you this squad's only beginning to purr? It's not actually roaring yet.
We're not really your full strength that way. You think about it, we didn't have a fit Kyogo, we didn't have a fit Roderick, we didn't have a fit Turnbull. That's 3 noticeable. Maeda isn't fit. The other Japanese boy isn't fit. But can you imagine what we'll be like when all the 5 players are back to full fitness again? It'll be unbelievable, man. I think I don't want to put it on, but the league's ours now, I think.
No, I think that's the thing. I mean, Income Sale Times 2, I know his name's Ian, he says, literally it was only the other day, Ange went, I had average results to start with. 3 and 6. Even he said it wasn't the best start. And I was maybe at the time going, that's not going to be accepted. But he did adapt. And do you know what? And I'm not going to go to the Dynamite's a wet blouse thing. It's so pleasing to see Celtic tonight, right? First half blew them away. Second half, David, right? We kind of done what we've just done every match in 2022. It just so happened exactly what Ange wanted. Make sure the game's buried by the time you slack off second half. Or not slack off, but take the foot off the gas. That's a better way of putting it. By the time you take the foot off the gas, right, make sure the job's done. And make sure it's a convincing lead. I felt Celtic did this bang on the money tonight. It's just perfect that it was against them. But that 3-0 opening first half, to me, easily should have been Alloa. Easily could have been Hearts at Tynecastle. Right? Easily could have been Hibs at home. And the Alloa on the side where you expect it, the fact of the matter is, Hearts at Tynecastle, it wasn't too dissimilar a first half performance. But right now what you're seeing is we can afford to take the foot off the gas in the second half when we go 3-0 up. And the first example we've given in 2022 is against the team that's our title rivals. That's a big thing, David.
Yeah, I like to think that it was almost the complete performance. We got to see both sides of what Ange wants to bring to the table. He wants to, pedal to the metal right at the start. All guns blazing. We want to blow them away, get the job done in the first half. Hopefully we can do that. We managed to do it tonight. And then when the second half comes, these guys they're not machines. They are going to tire, and they have to conserve their energy. And I think it was the right time to maybe start to take the foot off the gas a little bit. We don't need to be running riot, right? At that high tempo, that crazy pressing that we're doing all the time, because that is when mistakes happen when we're tired. And we almost saw that. How easy it can be to make a mistake when Aribo managed to get the ball through to Arfield. Luckily, it was a slack pass. But if we're going to be playing at that for 90 minutes, more and more mistakes can happen. So I think, that was game management tonight. I think Ange was quite happy to go, right, job done. We've got to 60 minutes, job's done. Let's just calm it down a little bit. Let them have the ball. They're not doing anything with it. Quite confident we've got the best defensive partnership in the league at the minute. No matter what any pundit wants to say, the stats speak for themselves. I think Starfelt, a couple of hairy moments tonight, but I thought he did his job fairly well tonight. He likes the defending side in the game,
But he does.
and he did, and he enjoyed it tonight. I think he really enjoyed it.
That boy's very underrated, to be fair.
I think Starfelt is underrated. I think he's really growing into this.
Why do you think he's underrated, Liam?
Do you know that with the absolute slagging he gets off of some Celtic players at times?
But what's he doing? What's he doing on the pitch to make you think he's underrated? Because I actually agree with you. I just think it's sometimes better that my opinions aren't always the one just getting right. What is it that's impressed you about him, I should say?
That way, do you know how he just... How do we say it best? Defending is his game. He's not all this fancy, Pep Guardiola sort of fit, but tatty sort of stuff that they try to do at Barcelona, ball playing centre backs. Do you know if you just give him boys try to challenge him for the ball and him just to do the defending side? What a player!
Yeah, I think the essence of what you're saying is the guy likes defending. End of story. And Celtic, maybe they've not had enough of that at times. Maybe they've not. But let's now talk about someone else who defended very well today against the guy who we were told cost £37 million. Diallo, he was hooked at half time. Craig Taylor, I admit it. I've been critical of. It doesn't mean that's your opinion for the rest of the time, I'm entitled to change my opinion the same every Celtic fan is. Tonight, he was shit hot. And I think he'll be sitting there right now a wee bit smugly thinking, Amad Diallo, I know he's maybe not as match fit. Obviously, I get all that. But we're talking about a player who's trained at the very least with elite players, has been worthy of a crazy fee. Craig Taylor, I thought he was brilliant tonight. I'll be honest, I thought he was brilliant, David. What did you make of his display, for example?
Well, so first of all, opinions can change throughout the season. I think we can all put our hands up. Ralston's a perfect example that we can at times maybe get things wrong, or players can make you change your mind. I'm very much on the fence. I'll maybe give an opinion out there, but it just takes somebody to just say, well, actually, David, if you actually think about it, and if you look at this, and I'll go, I've never really thought about it that way. So I think, we're allowed to have our opinions on players, but, we have to be able to allow the player to play and show us throughout a season. Maybe not just a wee spell that he's maybe had a bit of a blip, but over a course of a whole season can maybe make us change our mind. But yeah, I think Greg Taylor, I like him. Is he the best left back that we could probably get? No, but I think he is really making a name for himself in that left back position. I think, like Juranovic, I think he maybe is showing that he's probably solidified that left back position. He plays the inverted fullback role really well. Considering that it was obviously alien to him at the start of the season. It was obviously very alien to us. Watching matches previously.
Tavernier didn't know how to deal with his runs, mate.
He didn't know what to do.
Like, that first half, sorry to cut you off, but like you're watching the first half going, Taylor at one point is going slightly infield, that inverted role, which again I had concerns about at the time. You're now watching it at full flow and you're going, once he goes down the outside, then he goes, checks inside the next time. Tavernier had those big panicky eyes on, mate. I think Greg Taylor was a huge part of that. Liam, he wasn't obviously the only good player tonight. I mean, know that. Right, we have to talk about the display of Juranovic. Is Juranovic forward? Because I know this is a popular opinion on social media. Is Juranovic someone who thinks, not just in terms of his performances, a lot of people want to see him as being in some sort of level in the captaincy roles. Not maybe necessarily the vice captain, but in the, what is it they call it now, David? They call it leadership groups. I think Juranovic, he steps up tonight. I think he maybe at 26 years old, with the experience he's got, he's part of the more influential players now, isn't he, for the younger ones?
Yeah, I would say so. He wouldn't be the Croatia right back for no reason, especially how good Croatia are nowadays.
No, I agree with that, mate. Absolutely not. And he did a lot of good things as well on the park. I thought, there was a lot to be positive about. David, we've not got much longer to go. In terms of the actual display today, I seen a pattern that Celtic have formed this year, right? And that is we blow teams away. Tonight we took our chances. Second half, containment job. How is the rivals feeling right now, David, with what Celtic have done tonight? Because the important thing I'm trying to say is it's not about all, I'm not trying to be all FU Rangers and that. I'm not saying about that. I'm just saying, what are they saying amongst themselves right now, having felt that, that heat? Because to me, the first half display, I would describe it as blowing your rivals away. Now, we've maybe not been in the position a lot, so it's easy for us to get giddy, and I get that. We've only just went top of the league, right, for the first time in, as I said, 2 months. But have we just planted the biggest seed of doubt in their mind ever? Not just by the point difference, but by what we did to them first half. And the fact, second half, they had 3 subs at half time. They might feel, we controlled the ball. They weren't in our league, even second half, it causing us bother. How much, both psychologically and even just for a sporting context, have Celtic stole the baton tonight and went, come get it?
Yeah, I think so. I think the players they've walked away tonight with a bloody nose and a black eye, and they're gonna be feeling it tomorrow. You're always going to be feeling it after your biggest rivals have scurried you at home. That's just always going to be the case. But
Sure.
This group of players or that group of players, they haven't experienced that yet. They've comfortably taken care of us for the last the last season there. So it doesn't really matter what they're feeling tonight. It's how they feel after it. Are they up for the challenge that we've just set? We've turned up, we've got in that boxing ring, and we've jabbed them, and they felt it right in between the eyes. And now it's whether they are willing to jab back. Now we've come out swinging. We've shown them we're up for it this year. That last year was a blip. Last year maybe was coming, and we just didn't see it coming. And Ange's got us, got the gloves back on, got us hitting the gym, and we're ready for a fight. and it's whether Rangers are, are they ready for the fight too? And don't get me wrong, I'm sure they are, but right now it's whether they're mentally scarred from tonight that they can recover from that. But tonight doesn't mean the jot if we don't go and do the job the following week. Because I remember they beat us the 1-0 a couple of seasons ago, and they thought that was it. That was the baton turning for them. And then they go and drop points in the following week. So we've got to keep jabbing. We've got to keep pushing forward, moving forward, getting them back to their corner. Because I don't know if they'll handle it.
I think everything Ange Postecoglou, Liam's done has always been based on a process and it's a strategy, right? That's what it is.
Aye.
The players he signed in January, he wanted to sign in July, August, June, whenever it was, right? They're all coming to fruition now. We never reacted to, Diallo signing for Manchester United, Aaron Ramsey signing for Rangers. I think in years gone by, you might want to swing your dick about a wee bit, and go, well, we've got an extra £20 million in the bank, or however many million it might be. Don't let them think they're going to have the... I think what Ange has managed to do is dumb it all down. I think the players played tonight with a dumbed down attitude to the actual crux of this rivalry. I actually find it funny at times because if you call it Old Firm or you slip up calling it Old Firm in a podcast, honestly, Celtic fans get right round up about that, and I get it. I do get it. I actually think it's what happens on the pitch. It's almost like they took the sting tonight out of this being a rival match. It wasn't like we were playing in a derby. It was genuinely like we were just playing, whether it have been a Hearts or a Hibs, in the past couple of weeks. As I say, the displays were similar. It just is true that we converted more chances. And if Postecoglou's brought that level of professionalism in, there's actually more reason to be excited. When I think you look back to the manager the year before, and briefly we'll do it, he would want players in who get the rivalry and get what it means to beat them. Whereas I think Postecoglou's going, just be better than them. Just be better. And glory days will come. And this will be a place, Liam, that we're all going to be so, so happy. It's quite incredible, I think, what he's done on his own. Liam, I'll leave the final word to you. How happy are you tonight as a Celtic fan?
All you need to know is why need Aaron Ramsey and Diallo when you've got Rio Hatate and Matt O'Reilly?
There you go, mate. There you go. Listen, a huge thanks. As I always say, the Boise Bus will never be the place for fucking former pro. No, I don't mind. Like, I know other folk do it and that, but for me, I want the bus passengers to be driving the bus at times. Tonight, we proved it yet again, and it's been the most successful show we've ever had. Now, obviously, a lot of that's down to Celtic as well, but the fact is, David, Logan, Liam, just love the show. They're welcome on. If any of yous want to come on, yous are welcome. I don't want to keep doing it fucking... I'm not going to get regular contributors and make it all like that. No. I want as many of yous on as possible because this bus is for us all us Celtic fans. And tonight's result is for every single one of us because since the Boise bus revved up, when was the last negative result you can think of? Long time ago. The positive wheels are spinning again. Thank you very much to everyone who's watched tonight. A huge thank you to David Logan, Liam Colo. I'll let everyone enjoy the rest of the Wednesday evening. But what a buzz this has been. Shall we play the tune one more time? Why
Play the tune.
No, why
Play
not?
the tune.
I'll see you all later. Cheers again.
Some of his comments about me deliberately trying to cause controversy. Well, I work in the media now. And you've got someone sitting there next to you who's an embarrassment to the media profession. He's an apologist. He's a charlatan.